Hello everyone, welcome back to ConceptBrunch-withRidhi, your space to dive deep into the beauty of mathematics. Today we are moving ahead from our last video on exponent and power and exploring something closely related, that is surds or irrational numbers. Surds may look complicated, but by the end of this session you will understand how to simplify, manipulate and solve equations using surds. So, what are surds? In simple terms, surds are irrational numbers that cannot be simplified into whole numbers or fractions. These are numbers left under the radicals, the sign root. For example, root 2, root 3, root 5 and so on. Okay? A surd is an expression of the form of root a, where we can say the a is your what? Positive integer. Okay, so let's move ahead. For example, root 2 is a surd because the square root of 2 is irrational, but root 4 is not surd. Why? Because root 4 equals 2, which is rational number. Okay. Types of surds. Surds are classified into two main types, simple surds and compound surds. Simple surds are single radical expressions like root 2, root 5, root 7 and so on. While compound surds are combination of surds like root 2 plus root 3, or we can say 3 root 2 plus root 5 and so on. Now let's talk about how to simplify surds. The idea is to break down the number under the square root into its prime factor. So the two simple way we can do here is under root ab. We can break as a root a times of root b. Another way for the dividing surds, we can do root a divide with the root b. We can write under root a by b. Okay. Our first example is root 50. The first step we can do here, write 50 as a product of its factor. So root 50 can be written as root 25 times of 2. Now with the formula I told you, root ab we can write as a root a times of root b, correct? So here we can break root 25 times of root 2, and root 25 we can write as a 5 root 2. Okay. Now let's go to the second example. In the second example, same thing, root 72, write the product of its factor, that we can write 36 times of 2, correct? Same formula, we'll break it 36 times of root 2. Okay, 36 we can write as a 6, and this is your root 2. Okay, let's talk about another example. This one we can solve in a two way. First way, root 50 divide with the root 2, we can merge together like this, 50 over 2. Because I told you root a divide with the root b, we can write as a root a by b, correct? So 50 over 2 is 25, and under root 25 it will be 5. Okay. Second way will be root 50, simply we can write as a 5 root 2 as we solve up, right? And divide with the root 2. So we can cancel out the root 2, the answer will be 5. Okay. Adding and subtracting surd is similar to adding and subtracting like terms. You can only add or subtract surd if they have same radical. For example, a root x plus b root x. We can simply write a plus b root x. Let's take an example. So the first example we have is root 5 plus 3 root 5. What we can do? we can simply write 4 root 5 because 1 we don't write here. So root we'll consider as a 1 plus 3 as a 4. Okay. Second example, 2 root 3 minus of root 3. So basically what it is, again we don't write the 1 here. So 2 minus 1 root 3. So it will be, again we don't write 1 again. So just root 3 is answer. Okay. But if surds are different, for example root 2 and root 3, they can't be added or subtracted. For example, root 2 plus root 5, we can't add them. Okay. It's just same thing. Okay. Next, multiplication and division of surds. Now let's see how to multiply and divide surds. For multiplication, just multiply the number under the root. For example, root 3 times of root 12. We can just write under root 3 times of 12. Simply we can merge them, right? So it will be under root 36. That will be 6 as an answer. So take another example. Root 7 times of root 7. Very simple. We can just write 7 times of 7. That is your 49. And that is 7 is the answer. Okay. Let's take one more example. Root 20 division of root 5. Similar way, what we can do, under root 20 divide with the 5, that will be root 4 and that is 2. Okay. For this example, we can conclude one more thing, that is power of surd. It means under root a of square, we can write as a. Okay. Let's move to the next part. So lastly, we are going to rationalize the denominator. Rationalize means removing the surds from the denominator of a fraction. In general term, we can write 1 over root n. So for this, 1 by root n will multiply root n up and down. Okay. So it will give you root n divided with the n. Okay. Let's take an example. For example, 1 over root 2. To rationalize this, multiply the numerator and denominator with root 2. Okay. So it will give you root 2 divided with the 2. Okay. Before we wrap, let's check how well you understood these concepts with a few quick questions. Post your answers in the comment below. These are the 4 questions. So that's it for today's session. I hope you feel more confident about working with surds. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos like this. And check out my previous video on exponent and power. Until next time, keep practicing and keep learning. Bye bye.